Mm-hmm. Now that's how you do that. That's how you start off Summer League. You started off right. And this was absolutely insane to watch, to witness toward the end because most people probably turned the game off, Summer League being what it is, just giving up on the Atlanta Hawks. But I must say, the Atlanta Hawks showed something tonight. And again, this was insane to watch. Instead of, saying the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, I gotta say that the Atlanta Hawks displayed the ability to be called the Ultimate Fighting Caca. Yes, sir. Welcome back to Hawks Digest. I am Chris Tip Moore. Take off your shoes, leave on your socks, and we got a quick update here revolving around Summer League and everything that went down with the Atlanta Hawks taking on those pesky Miami Heat. And this one right here, I was happy to see what I seen, especially toward the end. We'll get into that. First things first, let's back up. Let's pump our brakes a little bit. And let me just tell you about the game just a little bit in its entirety. All right. Now, the game started off, I feel like the Hawks had a good pace. Started off, so 29-25, Miami doing their thing. But the Hawks, they had a good pace going. And ultimately, the Atlanta Hawks and the points in the paint, it looked very familiar to how it was in the season because we won the points in the paint battle 46-34. The fast break points, we did not get into transition like we would have liked. I think Miami kind of, with their bigs and with their scheme and how Eric Spoelstra wanted to do, I think they wanted to take that away from the Atlanta Hawks. Again, the Atlanta Hawks were one of the top teams in pace last year. So that's pretty much in our makeup. We want to get out and run, make the other guys tired. And we did that in the first quarter a little bit. Miami did battle back more so in the second half. And they were definitely getting led by their first round draft pick. And I just got tired of him just doing what he was doing. But ultimately, some guys are going to go off because in his first game, I believe against Golden State, he didn't do much of anything. So you had that going. But ultimately, the biggest lead that Miami had was 13. That mostly came in the second half, and the Atlanta Hawks had a 12-point lead that dwindled down. Bench points was a gridlock, 35-35. Total rebounds, as far as you had 11 from Miami, 8 from the Atlanta Hawks. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the turnovers. I'm so sorry. It was 8 by the Atlanta Hawks. You love to see it. And 13 from the Miami Heat. You love to see it. So points off turnovers, both teams was able to accumulate 11. This game had 5 lead changes. 7 times we were tied. But something that just stuck out the most to me was the fact that in this game, the Atlanta Hawks were able to accumulate 20. That's right, 20 offensive boards, and boy, did we need every last one of those boards, right? Because these guys were coming after the Atlanta Hawks, and we were missing shots, but the good thing is we were able to box out, something that I want to see be a consistent thing here in Atlanta, boxing out, fighting for these boards, being in the right position, kind of like guesstimating, but guessing right where the ball is going to bounce and be able to corral the rebound. So that right there was a good thing. I enjoyed seeing that from our guys. I said offensively, just being able to get those extra possessions, that's how you are able to win games. And that's how the Atlanta Hawks was able to come back in this one. So you love to see that. Also, in that comeback that happened in the fourth quarter, you got to remember the Hawks were at the 7-minute mark. Well, 6 minutes, honestly. They cut it down to 10 right at the 6-minute mark because it was down 12 in the fourth quarter. They were able to cut that down and take the lead. The Hawks ultimately had hit 14 points in a row, ultimately went on a 21-4 run towards the end of the game to finish it and seal it up. You absolutely love to see that because the Hawks could have packed this in, guys. We could have packed this in and been like, all right, we'll holler and been done with it, right? But we did not do such. And I'm sorry, I just got right into the video. that I ain't even give you guys your shout out, but I'm going to do that because I have 5 guys. Yeah, no, we're not going to the burger place, but I have 5 guys that I want to just briefly talk about in this video, guys that stood out to me. So before I do that, I got to do what I do. Thank you to everybody who is subscribed to Hawks Digest, making us one of your first listens when you need that Hawks content. Well over 2,400 subs, and it's all because of you. And we thank you, each and every last one of you, me, Walter, and of course the Digest Media family. And if you're not subscribed to Hawks Digest, hey, what are you waiting on? Go ahead and become a part of the Hawks Digest family so we can keep you updated with these different situations, with these different games, trade, any kind of news. You can get it right here with Hawks Digest. All right. Like I said, man, let's get into some of these guys, man. We want to start off with our first round pick, Asa Newbill. He played 25 minutes total. He went 3 from 9 from the field. That's the good for 33%. But he did knock down a 3. That was one of his buckets. And he shot 33% from the 3 because he went 1 for 3. Free throws, 1 of 2. So that's 50%. You'll take that, in his first game. But he had 8 rebounds, 6 on the defensive end, 2 offensively. Assists, he had 2. But this right here was a nice surprise. Well, I wouldn't say surprise, but it was nice to see him get 2 steals. You want to see stuff like that, being active, having active hands. So I love to see that too, especially from my forward, especially from my young forward at that. So this guy isn't even old enough to necessarily drink yet. So you have that, and he was a plus 17 for those who care about the plus minus margin. You love to see that. Anything for ASAP, I can really just say we already know something that he said when he had some of his first interviews. He wants to gain size. He wants to put on some weight. Wants to put on that muscle, and he's going to have to get into the weight room to do it. But honestly, it's going to have to be over time. Even if he was to get into the gym right now, for the next 2 months, straight and try to do nothing else, I don't think that necessarily will help him in the long run. And honestly, sometimes, picking up weight or putting it down too fast can actually hurt you. So with that being said, we did see Ware. I want to let Hawks fans know something about Ware. Ware has been in the gym since Miami drafted him. Eric Spoelstra said it himself that they keep Ware in the gym to get bigger, to get better. And honestly, he's looking more so like a pro. He looks like tonight that he was in the weight room, that he has been working on his fundamentals and just all-around game. And against, somebody like Asa Newbill, somebody who's coming in learning the game, he has to go through his ups and downs and his learning curve. So I seen a few people saying, oh, Asa this, Asa that. At the end of the day, I'm not worried about ASAP Newbill at all. I honestly believe that in College Park, he's going to get more reps, he's going to get more experience, and I think he's going to be absolutely fine. Seriously. So as for Asa Newbill, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. I feel like not a bad debut. Not a bad debut at all, because it could have went 10 times worse, right? So to start off 8-8, now it's time to build off of that. Next guy that I had coming up, yeah, you know this guy, Kobe Buffkin. Kobe Buffkin had a great game, y'all. Got to give the props to when it's due. 25 minutes, 6 of 16. That's 37% from the field, 37.5% from the field. 2 of 9 from 3, 22%. I believe actually they got that number wrong. I think he actually hit 3 threes tonight. But one thing I liked, Trae Young-esque with the 15 of 15 from the foul line. And he was attacking. He was attacking mostly all game, making the right plays, right decisions. I enjoy seeing that from Kobe. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. So he was in the stat lines, 29 points for Kobe Buffkin, 17 in the fourth quarter. 15 for the plus and minus for those who care, plus 15. Again, fourth quarter, he actually absolutely went off, making the right reads, making the right plays, getting downhill. And Kobe, I believe, honestly, he's added to his offensive game. It's only one game, but Kobe is a score first type of a point guard who's not really a point guard. He's more so of a shooting guard, but so the Hawks are going to try to use him as a point guard, and he possibly can elevate his game to something like that. But he's more so of a scoring first type of a guy because he can put the ball in the basket. You've seen it. He can get downhill, get to the foul line. You've seen it, and I give Kobe Buffkin his credit. But I also want to give just a little bit of a pump of a break on that as well. Kobe Buffkin is in his third season as a pro. Now, he hasn't played a whole lot, so he's kind of like a vet rook. But at the end of the day, you can tell that he doesn't really belong in the summer league program. He's a little bit more advanced than that, but I'm glad to see him in it because he even said it himself. He's trying to get his wind up. He's trying to get himself together and acclimated within the offense, within the league, and because we've seen these glimpses of greatness or possible greatness of what it could be for Kobe Buffkin, and injuries have plagued him. So I enjoy seeing Kobe Buffkin. I expect Kobe Buffkin to get a little bit more playing time, but I also want to see some of the other guys. Lamont Butler did not play tonight. Interested to see exactly so what they plan on doing with him, because he did not play tonight. Also, I believe Josh Christopher, he reached the game a little bit too late, and that's another reason why he didn't suit up. So there's a few guys, some Johnson, Smith, Stevens, White, all those guys, some were coach's decisions, DNP. So I believe, moving forward, we're going to get to see maybe some more of Lamont Butler, a guy who could be possible a sleeper. Also, Davon Smith, that's another guy, Atlanta guy, local guy, high octane. I say that because Holmes got some bounce to him. But anyway it goes, Kobe Buffkin, third-year player, showing that he is at least more advanced than some of the guys that he's playing with. But Kobe Buffkin, I got to give it to you. 29 points, I salute, sir. Moving on, I got a few more. Jacob Toppin. Jacob Toppin is very interested, and he has signed to a two-way deal with the Atlanta Hawks. You're going to probably see him down there in College Park, and I think he's actually going to shine. I think Jacob Toppin has some smooth finesse to his game. I think that Jacob Toppin also, who went 7 for 13, by the way, 53% from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, 33%. That's okay because at the end of the day, he went 7 for 13 from the field. I seen him hit a turnaround. Seen him, some playing around the basket, just being active. 4 of 6 from the foul line as well. And 10 rebounds with 19 points. That's a double-double in the NBA, you dig? 2 assists as well. And plus minus, 21. Plus 21. And, so you love to see that from Jacob Toppin because, again, him signing that two-way deal, the Hawks believe in the ability. He was a guy that used to go off in the G League. And, of course, I believe that this guy has the ability to be better than his brother because I feel like he has more tools. And I feel like he has more fluidity in his game. So I like Jacob Toppin. When we first picked him up, I was like, okay. And I believe that Jacob Toppin is definitely going to be here to stay, having that double-double, that 19 and 10, being aggressive on the boards, being just aggressive all the way around, but still showing that touch and that finesse. So I was very happy with the showing of Jacob Toppin. No complaints at all from me from Jacob Toppin. Just continue to build, sir. And thank you. Thank you very much. Next guy. And I actually, this is not my next guy. Get to you in a second, Jay. This guy right here. Now, Inji played 20 minutes, was 4 of 8 from the field. That's 50% from the field. 1 of 4 from 3, 3 or 4 from the foul line, right? But he also grabbed 6 boards. I love guys who play like the guard in the 3 position and they don't mind rebounding. That's one thing that I loved about Dyson Daniels last season. He didn't mind getting in there and rebounding as a guard. I like guards who rebound and can get in there because that's just another guy who's gonna try to clog up the paint and get the board and get the extra possession. But yeah, man, Inji, sometimes you have to watch a guy multiple times, and I was only able to watch highlights. But seeing Inji tonight, I think Inji can play. I really do. I think Inji can play. I think he's going to do really well at College Park. I think he's going to fine tune his game. College Park, again, I've said this so many videos that we are so underrated in College Park as far as development. They do a really good job. And I think they're going to do the same thing with Inji. And he had 12 points plus 8. You know what I'm saying? So 6 rebounds, 12 points, plus 8. I like what I seen. Now he did have a block attempt. He did try to do that, and I kind of like just knocked the wind out of himself. But I like the fact that he's not afraid. He will play defense. I think defense is going to be one of his calling cards, and he has a nice form to his shot as well, knocking down a few shots. So I enjoyed what I saw from a lot of these guys. They really, one game, and it's only summer league. So look, again, we're going to continue to pump brakes, but we're going to remain optimistic, Hawks fans. We have to. These are our guys. And moving next, I can finally get to him. And that is Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic. Now, let's talk about the game with Nikola first, because I do have some big news that regard around him too. So, Nikola, 23 minutes. Okay? 40% from the field because he was 4 of 10. Missed his only 3. Didn't shoot any foul shots. Would like to see him get to the foul line just a little bit more. Honestly, I don't think that he's necessarily a point guard either. I know a few times they've had him dribbling the ball, but I like him kind of like at the 2 guard spot, kind of like Kobe. But we'll see what happens with the Atlanta Hawks want to do. I believe Jokic can play multiple positions. So I know we like that. We like that versatility, that optionality to be able to move guys around and possibly see what's the best fit for them. So I expect Jokic to be a guy that's going to be on the court to see exactly where that is. And as far as going back to his numbers, he did have 3 rebounds. He did have 1 assist, 1 steal, so he getting into the stats. Also, he had 8 points. Now, he was a +5, but if I read that right, did he have 8 personal fouls? Gotta stop being a little handsy. Gotta, stay disciplined. Just, you can cut that down. I think Jokic can cut that down. Maybe a little bit of excitement because, being on the floor, big time, summer league. Of course, again, this is a big time for him to show his worth to the Atlanta Hawks just a little bit more. So I expect him to get more significant minutes during summer league. But also, what's going on with this young man is we signed Jacob Toppin to the 2-way. So a lot of Hawks fans were looking like, so what does this mean for Jokic? Well, the Atlanta Hawks have signed Nikola Jokic to a 3-year, $5.9 million deal. The deal includes $1.27 million fully guaranteed for the 2025-26 season. Of course, Jokic was our 43rd pick in the 2024 NBA draft. Now, also, it was this whole thing with a second round pick exception. Let me see if I can get that to you guys, because I could have sworn I had it up here, but it has escaped me. But either way it go, pretty much off the top of my head, a second round pick exception allows a team to sign a guy who has at least 1 year of experience to a 3-year deal that could still also also benefit them in the long run. That is pretty much the whole thing. But I'm gonna get the but you know I got you. You know I got you. You know I got you. I'm gonna get it all the way right. So players who are signed to a second round pick exception won't count against the team's cap between July 1st and July 30th. Uh, in their first season. Their first season. Again, it allows a team to sign their second round picks to standard NBA contract without requiring cap room or another exception. So that's something that the NBA put in place, and the Atlanta Hawks have taken advantage of it. My bad again. I want to apologize to you guys because I had it up, as far as to explain exactly what's going on, because I had to see, I had to dive into the details just so I can know a little bit more about it myself. So my apologies for that, for not having it ready to fire. But again, that is exactly what's going on with the second round pick exception. And this young man is a part of that. He is a part of the Atlanta Hawks. And we're going to see exactly what we get moving forward. But guys, I have been talking, and I've been talking. But again, I'm happy for this Hawks win because we deserve that. And they showed some grit coming back against this Miami Heat and the Heat culture, taking care of business in Summer League. It is only Summer League, but it can help build morale moving forward, being able to come back against, somewhat of a championship pedigree team, a team that has won multiple championships. So, even though it has been in the past, you still like to see your young guys continue to fight and continue to go after it and get after it. Continue to build off of this, Hawks. Continue to build off of this. Kobe Buffkin, Inji, everybody, Toppin, everybody on the team. Just continue to build. And until next time, guys, peace and blessings to you all. And to you all, I'll holler.